She is 12 years old. She's an amazing singer. She does tremendous charity work in her community and a lot of modeling. She is gorgeous and she is going to be big trouble when she's older. Mama, you gotta keep the reins on her. Ariana Hudson. Next we have the National Citrus Teen winner, and that is Kayla Wilson. Another beauty. She also won a supermodel title in the New York Fashion Week in New York City. Kayla also just came from the set of Tyler Perry's, one of his movies. She is doing all kinds of great things. That is Kayla Wilson, 19 years old. Next, we have my dear friend. She is National Miss Citrus Woman. And she is Catalina Summer. She is a photographer, a makeup artist, a model. She is a mother of two. She is gorgeous inside and out. So talented. She is your Miss Citrus Woman, Catalina Summer. Now we're going to change the category to World's Perfect. We have Amelie Sierra. Amelie just turned 16 years old. She is gorgeous. She does modeling, a ton of modeling. She's from Miami. Also very charitable. Just beautiful. And ladies and gentlemen, first time in history during National Citrus Pageant, a mother and son won the title. My son, Darren Alexander Friedman, World's Perfect Man. Darren's doing all kinds of things. Volleyball coaching, changing lives, training people. And there you have it. And we're all here for Jerry Grant today to add a little glitz and glamour into your being honored. I've known you for, oh gosh, a very long time. I can say maybe half of my life. Ever since I came down here, I just want to thank you for all the wonderful jobs you gave me and the ones that were. It's okay. You're a great man, a great father, a great husband, and I know that you're going to have a great time today. So thank you so much for allowing me to introduce the court, and enjoy.
We can't forget about you! Come on, girl!
They know me.
Something we're missing a very crucial part of the family here. Really, ladies and gentlemen, well, first of all, my lovely mother was able to introduce me and all the other, but no one got to introduce you, Mom. Boys, if we can.
Please. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next on stage, the World's Perfect Classic Miss Ryan Alexander. Mother wife, great mother. Very well financially, and absolutely gorgeous as always. Everybody loves her. If you don't love her, well, I don't know what you're doing. She's married to my dad over there. Just Miss Ryan Alexander. That is the court, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Everyone enjoy it. We love you all. Happy coming to everybody. That's the World's Perfect Court. Citrus Court, so fellas, get your singles ready. Anyway.
Just a little bit. Let me tell you about Jerry Grant, the way I feel about it. I've done hundreds of shows for Jerry Grant. Mark has done thousands. He was never my agent. He was my friend. That's the way I feel about Jerry Grant. Just a couple of stories about him. He was a genius on top productions. Anybody that does that, they're walking in his shadow. He once did a show called The Ed Sullivan Review, and now the world-famous Mills Brothers and 3 white guys walked out. But my favorite story about him, he was responsible for launching the career of Don Rickles. Now, we all remember Don Rickles, and it seems that he had to put on Rickles and Murray Franklin, $250 a week, totally unknown, and to open for Berta Sherwood. And Don Rickles had a stage mother, not too many people I knew. Her name was Etta, and she was 100% behind her son, as Peggy knows. And her mother somehow made friends with the mother of the biggest star in the world that was appearing in the Fontainebleau, Frank Sinatra. And she said to Frank Sinatra, "Can your son come see my son?" And she didn't hesitate. She said, "He'll be there," because Frank Sinatra once said he was only afraid of 2 people in his life, his mother and Tommy Dorsey. Woody knows that. Anyway, as my friend Milton Berle used to say, you gotta be prepared for your luck. Rickles is on stage, Jerry is there, and Frank Sinatra walks in with Harry James, and Rickles spots Frank Sinatra and he says, "Make yourself at home, Frank." And then he says to Harry James, "The lip is gone, the nursing home is ready on Tuesday." And Frank Sinatra got so convulsed and laughed he fell off the chair, and Rickles said, "Don't embarrass me, Frank, I'll have you thrown out of here." That's just one of the many Jerry Grant stories. He's also, besides being a producer, director, author, composer, theatrical agent, he wrote some beautiful songs. And he wrote a Christmas song that we're going to do right now, and I think it's the perfect time to do it. And I always said that if somebody like a Perry Como or Bing Crosby or Dean Martin got that song would have been a hit, but it's not over till it's over. It's a beautiful title. It's called "Christmas is Forgiving. Are You Forgiving Me?" Jerry Grant. Christmas is forgiving. Are you forgiving me? For Christmas won't be merry without you. Leave no other presents beneath my Christmas tree. Your presence is the only gift that will do. All year long I've been waiting for this special time of the year. For Christmas time is forgiving. Are you taking time for me this year? Mistletoe and holly and sleigh bells in the snow make Christmas time for living. Yes, Christmas is forgiving. Are you forgiving me for hurting you so? Oh, mistletoe and holly and sleigh bells in the snow make Christmas time for living. Yes, Christmas is forgiving. Are you forgiving me for hurting you so? Are you forgiving me for hurting you so? And here's a present. Mark and I are going to record that. We're going to do that. We have so many great talents that are here to salute this wonderful man. From the Lunch Bunch, who Jerry, you created that about 25 years ago, correct? And we have a multi-talented raconteur, humorist, musician, singer, and the host of the very popular Jolt Radio's On the Record and Off the Wall, And to pay his tribute to Jerry Grant, please say hello to Buzz Fleischman.
Hi everybody, I love you, Jerry, and it's going to go downhill from there. Look, I don't want to offend anybody here today, so I know that some of you may have at least one lawyer on your retainer. So my lawyer asked me to say this. The following inferences, portrayals, material disclosures, or ad-libs you may or may not hear or get do not necessarily are meant to demean Jerry or any of the people in the room tonight, including but not limited to their families, neighbors, or friends. And if for any reason any of the following causes any normally sane person to laugh in the middle of a drink, causing said person to spew milk, water, coffee, an alcoholic beverage, any other liquid or solid through their mouth or nose, resulting in a stain, spill, or other such damage as may occur, neither I, the aforementioned persons, are indemnified against, cannot condone, therefore will not be responsible for alleged harm, loss, pain, and suffering, misfortune, or wound, bruise, blow, accident, havoc, mischief, or ego damage to actual person or persons, or other expensive clothing, or on this occasion to impress their friends, co-workers, or bosses, including but not limited to. An act of God, or not, and simply, and dependent upon tax day, title, first and last, and security based on individual daily participation, no pre-existing conditions, less ticket pays, high school children must be accompanied by adults, factory warranty, 5 years, 50,000 miles, whichever comes first, void where prohibited by law, or if it expires at midnight tonight, then go in conjunction with any other offer ever consumed to a theater near you. Offer includes software, hardware, Tupperware, silverware, substantial penalty for early withdrawal. So, I'm Buzz Fleischman, one of the better, cheaper acts. And if you've ever worked for Jerry, then you know how accurate that is. Congratulations, Jerry, you've just surpassed the lifespan of a North Korean. Spoiler alert, the words critical and race will be spoken today, but not in a context that would trigger anybody. The word critical refers to the limited amount of time between Jerry's main course and his dessert. And the word race refers to the time when his bookings had less than half an hour to travel from job to job. So we just want to go behind the scenes in Jerry Land and reveal what all of you have been saying about him all these years. He started out with traditional Jewish comedy shows, you know, when half the audience repeats what the act says. Generally, we roast someone for a major event in their lives. But in this case, it's because you're still here. So, there really weren't a lot of highlights, but this is not going to be one of those, this is your life kind of things. I think it'll be a little worse. I met Jerry right after he retired, so I didn't get the honor of working for him, speeding from gig to gig, wondering why the driver's on parole. But it's been a storied career which today continues with Once Upon a Rhyme, which we tolerate every few hours. Although he's pretty old. He's not the oldest one here. He met Woody. Woody, hey Woody, how you doing? Hey, he met Woody when he was he had a very brief job writing an act for Charlie Chaplin. You know, they call someone who's 90 years old or more a nonagenarian. So Jerry, you're an email-agenarian. You send out more than 90 an hour. So let's have a look at some history. At age 19, he tracked down Alfred Gwynn Vanderbilt and got him to back Jerry's magazine. He was writing The Voice of Youth. Or was it Ute? Voice of Youth. Peggy tells me that Jerry was relentless in his pursuit of fame and fortune. That's when Vanderbilt got the restraining order. To Jerry, the term happy hour means a cup of tea and a nap. Did that joke give you a burning, shooting pain? Ask your doctor if comedy is right for you. If you're allergic to comedy, don't take comedy. Some side effects of bad comedy include groaning, feelings of remorse, thoughts of suicide. If you're pregnant, planning to become pregnant, don't use comedy. Look, I'm 75. Oh no, soon to be 76. Okay. If you don't laugh, I'm calling it elder abuse. Okay, so. His favorite foods are corned beef, lamb chops, stone crabs, coconut cream pie. You can see them on many Wednesdays all over many of his custom bibs. Speaking of custom bibs, will the bib table do their thing over here? We all, you know, in your honor, Jerry, we're going to wear some bibs over here. Just because we love you. All right. Jerry has meant more to entertainment in South Florida than a pride parade in Wilton Manors. Would you know what I mean, Woody? Jerry stopped having kids at 4. You know, he found out that every 5th child born in the world was Chinese. He just didn't want to go there. His favorite foods are corned beef, lamb chops, stone crabs, coconut cream pie. You can see them on many Wednesdays all over his classic custom bibs. See what? Oh, I said that already? Okay, by a show of hands, has anyone gotten an email from Jerry that he has repeated? Be honest. Why, nobody at this table. I can't believe that. Was that worth a repeat? Maybe. He was called to serve in the Army of the United States at 18 Special Services. He booked star-quality entertainment. The troops, he booked so many people, the Army had to start a no more recruiting drive. A true visionary of his time, he was known as an idea man, created many venues and hotels up and down Miami Beach. He wrote songs, wrote shows, wrote jokes, wrote emails. He wrote a lot of emails. I said, Jerry, you know, you've got more than a book in you, right? You've got 12 billion more emails. Jerry was born in Canada. There's nothing funny about that. This is a very important week for Jerry because he had just received a commendation for eclipsing a record for sending out more information than the entire United States government since World War II. And you're probably thinking, hey, there was no internet in, you know, in the 1940s. Don't tell Jerry. He's been sending them since 1944. He enjoyed a career highlight when he booked the show, you'll remember this, he booked the show Wheel of Fortune for Israel. Pat, can I have a should I have said okay, real number. We're honoring someone who so distinguished himself in the entertainment field that everyone under 5'6" looks up to him. The many acts who have worked for you hold you in high esteem, Jerry. When they get together, they talk about you, they wish that you were the Pope. Then they would only have to kiss your ring. He's a manly man. Jerry, do you remember when, during your last physical, the doctor said, do you and Peggy have any trouble with mutual satisfaction? You said, no, we're going to stick with Prudential. His favorite foods are corned beef, lamb chops, stone crabs, coconut cream pie. You can see them on many Wednesdays on his custom bibs. The reason he's been successful in the part, you know, in this business, is due in part to, due in part to the support that he got from Peggy. He wears it often. Nothing. Okay. When they started out married life together, Jerry told Peggy that one day they'd have everything they ever wanted. And to prove that, he moved them into an apartment over a bank. That way he could say, you know, our assets over $200 million. He'll be... Thank you, Gary. On January 6th, he'll be married to Peggy for 48 years. In a row. His greatest claim to fame lies in the fact that he truly respected and admired all the talents that you booked throughout your career. He saw additional gifts and talents in many of the entertainers that he booked, urging them to develop other aspects in their acts, always creating new ideas. And so don't stop, Jerry. You're an inspiration to all of us. What am I doing? Wait a minute. I wrote a song to commemorate your 94th. Well, I woke up this morning. Hey, if it works, it works. But he feels good. He's gluten-free. His sugar is low, where it ought to be. But every few hours, sometimes in between, his bladder sends him a message. He's got to pee. That's not the way it used to be. He's reached that stage in life. He's got to pee. Now when he was a young man, he could hold it all week. Drink gallons of liquid, walk to Mozambique. When he had to go, it was on his own terms. He'd just like a racehorse or a packet of dirt. But that's not the way it used to be. He's reached that stage in life, I'm sure some of you, he's gotta pee. Well, I think I gotta go now, but if you please, believe I hear nature calling to me. Well, I'm farm-raised, grass-fed, cold-pressed, unstressed, non-GMO, and cage-free. But in spite of all that, I got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. Help me here. P.
Buzz Fleischman, ladies and gentlemen, how about that? Buzz Fleischman, thank you, Buzz. Thank you. Thank you so much, Buzz. Just give it a second. Now, I also want people to know that I know Peggy Grant before anybody in this room. Because Peggy Grant had a phenomenal career as a singer under the name of Peggy Edwards. And we had the same manager, wonderful man by the name of Harry Lawrence. He used to book us in beautiful places like Gigi Room with the Fonzaflute, Inverary in Bermuda, Sea Island in Georgia, all those places. And I thought how wonderful it would be if Peggy would sing a song. Now, before I want to ask you how great of a career she had, and then she met him. So anyway, Jerry used to do this big City of Hope benefit at the Sunrise Musical Theater, and I was on one year, and I'm waiting to go on, and there was a female impersonator by the name of Frankie Kahn. And what Frankie Kahn did, he would do Liza Minnelli, right, and Shirley Bassey, and he would lip sync to the records. And I'm backstage waiting to go on, and I was such a big fan of Shirley Bassey. I've listened to all these great songs, Goldfinger and Diamonds Are Forever. And I was informed I was not listening to Shirley Bassey because Shirley Bassey, Frankie Kahn had received a letter from her attorney. She could not use the voice of Shirley Bassey, and I was listening to Peggy Edwards do those Shirley Bassey songs. So I said in March, wouldn't it be wonderful if Peggy would sing, and after all the cajoling and pleading, because I'm not dealing with Peggy Edwards, girl singer anymore. I'm dealing with Peggy Grant, high-powered businesswoman and real estate mogul. It's just not that, I'm not. So anyway, she has relented, and by special request and popular demand, very lovely, very talented, beautiful song stylings of Miss Peggy Edwards.
sung in 30 years. Where's the strings and the horn section? No? I don't know, people. I got 16-piece charts written by Larry Topple. Thank you, Larry. Jerry, I'm only coming out of retirement for 1 minute. This is it for you. I can only give you love that lasts forever, and a hand to hold when leaves begin to fall, and the only heart I own for you and you alone. That's all. That's all. I can only give you country walks in springtime, and a hand to hold when leaves begin to fall, and the only heart I own for you and you alone. That's all. That's all. There are those, I am sure, who have told you they would give you the world for a toy. All I have are these arms to enfold you, and a love time could never destroy. If you're asking what I'm asking in return, dear, you'll be glad to know that my demands are small. Say it's me that you adore, for now and evermore. That's all. That's all. There are those, I am sure, who have told you they would give you the world for a toy. All I have are these arms to enfold you, and a corned beef from Moe's if you are a good boy. So if you're wondering what I'm asking in return, dear, you'll be glad to know that my demands are small. Say it's me that you adore, for now and evermore. That's all. I love you, my dear. Congratulations on this honor from the Footlighters. That's all.
Ladies and gentlemen, they want you on a showcase at Kings Point, Delray, Thursday. Just do 2 songs, that's it. But the phones are starting to ring. You're not as retired as you think you are. Wasn't she marvelous once again? Now, our chairman of the board, let me tell you, who did thousands of shows for Jerry. I think you worked for 2 years in a row without 1 day off, right? He worked for 2 years in a row for Jerry without 1 day off. And he said to Jerry, is it possible for me to get a day off? And Jerry said, why? Ladies and gentlemen, my dear friend, who I couldn't do this job without, and have you ever seen such a magnificent display of toys? This is the biggest we've ever had for the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital. Roddy Alexander, Barry Hauser, Ira Hammond, it couldn't be done without them. And are you ready, Maestro? Ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the board of the Footlighters, the wild genius of the keyboard, Mr. Mark Friedman.
I have to read this, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. I would have memorized it, but it's not that important. First of all, before anything, my mom is here. My beautiful mom. Doesn't she look well? God bless you. I am proud to be your son. You are just the highlight of my life. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Now, first of all, welcome. Before I begin, and we didn't do this the last time, and I want to do this time, but just take a moment. I want to mention our foundation. The Footlighters Foundation, through your generous donations, allow us to assist our fellow entertainers and musicians that have fallen on hard times. Our foundation was created because over the decades, these wonderful, talented performers who have entertained you countless times have consistently been paid a salary that was far below the average level, and they were unable to financially sustain themselves. The only reason for that can be described in just 2 words: Jerry Grant. Now, you've all heard the name Jerry Grant because I just said it. The Footlighters have a standing tradition that we only honor the people that we love. Today we'll be breaking that tradition. Sorry. By the way, Jerry's lovely wife, Peggy. Please, another round of applause for Peggy. She said, make sure that I ask, please, those of you that are driving, get a sticker for your car. For those that will be attending the graveside service right after lunch. We were supposed, here's how we work. We vote on who we're going to honor. And it came down to 2 people this time. It came down to either our president, Errol Dante, or Jerry Grant. And we voted. And to be honest, Errol got he got all the votes. But we said, no, let's honor Jerry now, because we all felt Errol had at least another year in him. To be serious for a moment, fabulous, breathtaking, imaginative, generous, kind, wonderful, inspirational, brilliant, unique, innovative, visionary, loving, welcome, thoughtful, reliable, witty, and sophisticated, classy, and honest. These are wonderful superlatives that we've used to describe so many other people that we've honored over the years. Now I know you're all looking at Jerry, and you're saying to yourself, wow, was he always in that magnificent Herculean shape that we see now? Strangely enough, no. Jerry began as a child. He was born, this is interesting, this is a true fact, you can Google it. He was born during the time that the earth was cooling and the great waters were receding to form what we now know as the continents. Jerry was conceived in a land we now call Canada. Yes, Jerry is Canadian, so I'm going to speak very slowly. Like many other creatures, Jerry realized soon that he could breathe both on land as well as in the water. Because of his small stature and shy attitude, He wasn't permitted out of the family cave to hunt with the others. But he grew and became a war correspondent. Not for our side. Jerry booked, this is true, Jerry booked entertainers and musicians for the armed forces. And Jerry was always on the front lines. Now remember, you remember this, Jerry. During one horrific battle, Jerry leaned over to Nero and said, "Play a Jewish song." Now I know. There are many, many people here, both in our industry as well as regular civilians, that will say that Jerry Grant is a mean, arrogant, nasty, repulsive, cheap, self-centered son of a bitch. Everyone always asks me how I met Jerry Grant. Everyone asks me, how did I meet Jerry Grant? I remember, it was 1967. I'll never forget it. I was in line at the bank, and I reached into my back pocket to get my wallet, and I shook hands with Jerry Grant. Jerry Grant once said to me, "Mongo, if you love what you do, you will never work a day in your life." I worked for Jerry for 10 years, 4 months, 5 days, 16 hours and 17 minutes, 7 days a week. 2 or sometimes 3 shows a night. I asked him if I needed a contract. He said only employees need a contract, not indentured servants. He told me, can I ask him? He told me, "Mongo, save every dollar that I pay you. Put that money away. Save every single dollar." That was good investment, Bob. So I did. I saved every single dollar that Jerry paid me. And at the end of 10 years, I took that $120 and bought my freedom. Jerry, being a man of his word, then released my family. You may not know this. Jerry is one of the most magnanimous people on the planet. Forgive me for telling the story, you know it's true. We were walking down the street near the Fontainebleau Hotel. Remember Jerry? Jerry? Get a mirror. Somebody get a mirror. We were walking down the street in front of the Fontainebleau Hotel, and we saw a musician that Jerry had booked for many, many, many years. Definitely looked like he was down on his luck. His clothes were tattered, his shoes had holes in them, the soles were flapping. And Jerry looked at that, he had a tear in his eye. He walked over to that guy and reached in his pocket, this is true. He pulled out, Jerry always carried a lot of cash. He pulled out a roll of $50 and $100 bills wrapped in a rubber band. He went over to the guy, took off the rubber band and gave it to the guy. He says, "Put that around your shoe, it'll stop it from falling." Jerry conceived big review shows about what was going on in the news and always included a Jewish reference. Such hits as Romans and Rachmanis, Japs and Jews, and his epic classic, Nazis and Nachis. He also, Larry Topple will tell you the truth, he also entered the world of Broadway after seeing the classic holiday ballet, The Nutcracker, the beautiful Nutcracker. Jerry put his own version about a Jewish wife called The Ball Breaker. Continuing. As you all can see, Jerry is indeed very old. And his family, the beautiful family here, would always have family meetings, and it was the same thing at every meeting. The kids say, "Let's put him down." But Peggy said, no. Peggy said, no, his age gave him status in our business. And because of his status, Jerry was always invited to premieres, to openings, grand openings. A first nighter. Jerry was there for the opening of Star Wars. Jerry was there for the opening of West Side Story. And Jerry was even there for the opening of Jurassic Park. Not the movie. Everyone stole ideas from Jerry. Many of you don't know about his foray into the early days of rock and roll. You're familiar with the classic group Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, yes? Well, that's stolen from Jerry. The original group was Frankie Mann and the Faircashers. Jerry wrote all the songs as well. You know the song Sherry? Jerry wrote Shake It's. Walk Like a Man was originally Strut Like a Mensch. And Big Girls Don't Cry was originally called Alta Cacas Don't Fetch. Jerry I know it's a G-rated title. Jerry also created the first Afro-American adult porn movie. It was called Black Size Matters. Now it's true that not all of Jerry's efforts were successful. Once he pitched an idea for a TV commercial for Ivory Soap. You remember Ivory Soap? The little baby, you know? Jerry pitched an idea, it didn't go over well. The scene took place in a gay prison. They didn't know. Anyway, Jerry was not what you would call a fun guy. I know you're looking at him and saying, man, this guy's fun. He wasn't a fun guy. In fact, I remember we would go and people would ask him to leave the bar so they could start happy hour. When the business started to change, Jerry was once again on top of his game. He wanted to give back to all the entertainers that worked so hard for him over the years, so he and his close friend and investment partner, Jeffrey Epstein. This is true, bought an island in the Bahamas and set up a school for young female starlets and trained them to be successful in show business. Jerry would fly in important people from all over the world to spend quality time and mentor these girls. Epstein handled finances, and Jerry handled the girls. 28 years ago, this wonderful man created the Lunch Bunch, a select group of entertainers that would meet for lunch every Wednesday. And I was honored to sit by his side for 28 years. Every week I learned many things from this man who I refer to as my mentor. He taught me stage presence. He taught me comedy, timing, and most importantly, he taught me that no matter how hard I try, some food stains just won't come out of clothes. Having lunch and sitting next to Jerry Grant is a cross between a Gallagher concert, the iconic food fight from the movie Animal House, and the paintball war. Now I know we've teased you, my dear friend, but now it's time to tell you from the bottom of my heart, and I say this with all sincerity, it's over. On behalf of myself and my beautiful wife, Kamala, we wish you all the happiness in the world, as well as a few more weeks of good health. And we are truly honored, as we've always been, not only to call you my mentor, but my dear friend. I love you.
Mark Friedman, that was great, Mark. How about that? Mark Friedman. That was terrific. That was great. I don't know, a lot of people from New York here originally. I don't know if you remember a club called the Copacabana. And I had my first job as a professional singer at the Copacabana. I was what they call the production singer, and I used to sing while the beautiful Copa girls would dance and work with people like Tom Jones and Sammy Davis and Don Rickles, the list goes on. And at the same time I was doing this, there was another young singer, and I put the words, we were both very young, that was in the Don Ho Review at the Waldorf Astoria. And for some reason, which I'm very happy, we have been great friends ever since, he made history because he was the first singer to ever sell over 1 million albums on TV. So let us bring up my dear, dear friend, the internationally acclaimed singing star, Peter Lemongello.
I was there with a pad, I was taking notes, I wanted to learn about show business. And he came out, and he just looked so great, he sang so great, he had girls all over him. So I said to my manager at the time, I want to be him. And for years, I idolized him, and then we just became the best of friends. He's a fabulous friend, but what a great singer, isn't he great? Errol Duncan. And we go back, Jerry, because when I moved here 28 years ago, I got my very first job from you. And I went to Sterling Road, was that where you lived? Yeah, and I met him, and I said, Jerry, I'm more interested in the sound and the quality of it than I am in the money, which if you work for Jerry, that's a good way to be. And I went the first time, I don't know where it was, but a guy came up to me, nobody was there, and he said, I'm Hoiby, I'm the sound man. And I said, pleased to meet you. And he said, huh? So I was very pleased to work there, Jerry. I'm going to tell you, can I tell you a fast story before I sing? This Jewish guy goes to this rabbi and he says, you got to help me, my wife is trying to poison me. He says, wow, that's pretty drastic. He says, I don't believe that. He says, no, she's trying to poison me. He says, well, let me go talk to her, I know her. So he comes back a few days later and he says, I talked to your wife for 3 hours. Take the poison. You can use that. This song was given to me by Paul Anka at a telethon at the Ed Sullivan Theater. And years later I said, why did you give me this song? Because it was so successful for me. And he said, I thought you could do it better than I could, and that's how great he is. It wasn't the Jerry Lewis telephone, it was the cerebral palsy, remember? He used to have those in New York. And he gave me this song, and I did it on the Tonight Show, and the rest, you know, it's a song that we made the most, but most pizzas with. Can you do this, or they do it? That one, okay. Yes. How fast the band started. Beyond the shadow of a doubt, like the mighty river flows, as the meadow gaily plays, with the wind on summer days, about as deep as deep can go, from the canyons to the skies, like a mother as she cares for the baby that she bears. Do I love you? Don't you know by now? Do I love you? Must I show you how? Do I love you? Must I always say? Do I love you? Yes, in every way. About as sacred as a hymn, and a Bible full of prayers, from a whisper to a roar, very much and even more. And I will show it with my eyes, share it with the night. If in death the good Lord is kind, it'll be the last thing on my mind. Do I love you? Don't you know by now? Do I love you? Must I show you how? Do I love you? Must I always say? Do I love you? Yes, in every 5 years ago, Jeff. And when I did, all my friends said, "Did you make a bucket list?" I said, "No, but I made one that rhymes with bucket." Love that. You can use that too. This is a really big pleasure for me. I tried to get out of show business, and then my son brought me back in. But it's always fun to watch him. And I think you're going to find out when I meet him in a minute. And watch how he's grown and how he's developed. And so I'd like to introduce him, if you don't mind, from PBS TV special, An American Idol. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Peter Lemoncello Jr.
Thank you so much. Boy, it's a real pleasure to be here. And how about it one more time for my dad, Peter Lemoncello. The old man still got it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to do for you a beautiful love song, originally from the Italian opera Puccini's La Bohème. Hope you enjoy it. Right now, I'd like to do a song by my hero, one of the world's greatest entertainers, the late, great Mr. Jackie Wilson. You guys can help me out with this one, right? have to help me out with this one.
takes a lot. These events never get on by themselves. But I'll tell you something. The Footlighters, we have no competition. Nobody produces events like the Footlighters. You just are you having a great time? Here's an old friend of mine who's done many shows with Footlighters, a very funny guy. Please say hello to Mr. Ben Curlin.
Thank you. Nice to follow that. Okay. Very good idea. And it's a pleasure to be here for a good friend of mine, Jerry Grant. Thank you very much. And this beautiful, gorgeous, super spreader COVID-19 event. Thank you very, very much. I was driving over here this morning, and I came to a red light, and I had a woman in front of me. She had a bumper sticker in the back of her car. So I took a look, and it said, "I miss my ex-husband, but my aim is getting better." People look at me, they say, "Ben, you're a little guy." Hope you can see me back there, I'm a little guy. And I'm a little guy, and I notice whenever somebody sees someone really tall, like about 5'7", 5'8", they say, "Did you ever play basketball?" People look at me, they say, "Ben, did you ever play miniature golf?" I play miniature golf. You know, I hate to play miniature golf with somebody who takes the game serious. You know, it's a lot of nice weather down here in Florida. A lot of people are playing miniature golf. I played miniature golf with a guy a while back. He's lining up every shot. He's taking practice swings. He's testing the wind. It's miniature golf. This is ridiculous. You know, I turned to my caddy. Look at this guy. Golf's a big game in Florida. I play regular golf. The other day I hit 2 great balls. I stepped on a rake. I must be a great golfer, because where I live, everybody calls me Tots. Yo, Tots. Not a good putter. I don't know where they got that. But things are going great. Hey, if you'd like me here this evening, New Year's Eve, I'm headlining in an indoor concert at the Florida State Mental Institution. I was there last year, and they held me over for 6 months. I got a call from my doctor on Friday. He says, "I got the results back from your tests, and the problem seems to be alcohol. So I'll call you back, and we'll do some further testing as soon as I sober up." I said, "Doc, you know, I'm getting older. I'm thinking I'm coming down with Alzheimer's. What should I do, Doc?" He said, "Go home and forget about it." I said, "Doc, how do you stop this aging process?" He gave me a gun. I went to see my psychiatrist. I said, "Nobody listens to me. Nobody listens to me." He said, "Next." I told my girlfriend I'm seeing a psychiatrist. She said, "She's seeing a psychiatrist, 2 plumbers, and a bartender." But I tell you, I'm getting older. I want to pass away peacefully in my sleep like my uncle. I had an uncle, he was 96 years old. He passed away peacefully in his sleep. And you know, he was active, he lived alone, he shopped, he cooked, he took care of himself, did his own laundry. He was even an Uber driver. 96 years old, was an Uber driver. That's how he died, peacefully in his sleep. That's the way to go. Not screaming and yelling like the passengers did in his car. I got lost driving around here in Florida while doing all these shows, and I got lost and went into a gas station. Remember, I had an old car. I just got rid of it, 175,000 miles. I went into a gas station. I said, "I'm looking for the nearest entrance to Interstate 95. Could you tell me how to get there?" This guy looks at me. He says, "Where, from here?" I said, no, from Buffalo, New York. I said, what's the fastest way? He said, you walking or you driving? I said, I'm driving. He said, that's the fastest way. I saw a nice looking senior citizen walking down the street. I put down my car window. I said, excuse me, sir, how do you get to 95? Guy looked at me, he said, don't eat meat. But I don't get lost now. I got a new car. I got one of those GPS systems. You got those things in your car that tell you where to go? I must be a horrible, horrible driver. I'm on the turnpike. I had all my GPS system. So the lady says, next exit, 1,000 feet, exit ramp, bottom of the ramp, stop, and let me out. She wanted to get out of my car, man. I'm on the turnpike, and I take a look at my rear view mirror. I got a cop behind me, you know, with the blinking lights. Boy, it's very scary when they get in the back of your car, waves me off the road. Cop got out of the car, 6'2", 220 pounds, with the gun, the helmet, the belly's hanging over the belt. She walks up to my car. Your eyes look bloodshot. Have you been drinking alcohol? I said, officer, your eyes look glazed. Have you been eating donuts? So I have to warn you, anything you say could be held against you. Anything you say could be held against you. So I looked at her and I said, tits. I was on Publix the other day. I'm in line, and I was next to Publix. There's a beautiful big bank over there. I'm near Delray. So I'm in the bank. I'm in line at the bank, and in front of me was this big heavyset guy, and right in front of them was this woman with this little baby boy. Little baby boy was in back with the mother in front of the big heavyset guy. The big heavyset guy had a beeper on his belt. So the beeper went off. Beep, 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 beep. And the little boy said to his mom, hey mom, watch out, the fat guy's backing up. I was in the Publix the other day, and the waitress, woman was there, she was all helping people out. She was all pierced. Her nose was pierced, her eyes was pierced, her tongue was pierced, her chin was pierced. She walked up, she said, can I help you? I said, you reminded me I had to go to Staples. Little old man walked up to little old lady in nursing home. He said, do you know how old I am? So she accepted her supply, she put it in her hand, she filled her out, said, you're 94. I said, how'd you know that? How'd you do that? He said, you told me yesterday. But the news is horrible, things are happening in the news. They talk about inflation, it's all over the news with inflation, right? I remember when I was a kid, my mom gave me $1. Gave me $1. I went down to the local grocery store. Back in those days, in the old neighborhood, you had a grocery store on the corner. I went in, I had $1, had a couple bags of Twinkies, a couple of bags of M&Ms, a couple of Hershey bars. My mom wanted a package of cheese. I got 3 packages of cheese, all for $1. All for it. You can't do that today. You want to know why? There's too many security cameras. I got on a bus down here in Florida recently, and everybody's doing their Christmas shopping. This elderly woman got on the bus carrying these 2 big heavy packages. She must have been doing a lot of Christmas shopping. She was 2 big heavy packages, this older woman. Nobody got up to give her a seat. Nobody got up to give her a seat. I sat there. I could not believe this. But I want to close with a cute story about a couple that just got married. They're on their honeymoon. And it's their first night of their honeymoon down at Miami Beach. And the new groom says to his bride, I want you to put on my pants. She said, what? What is it? Something kinky? Nothing kinky. I want you to put on my pants. So she didn't want to start an argument. It's their first night on the honeymoon. She grabs his pants. She puts in one foot. She puts in the other. She pulls them up to her waist. She lets go and they hit the floor. She says, I can't wear your pants. She says, don't forget, as long as we're married, I wear the pants in the family. She said, all right, I did that for you. You do this for me. You put on my underwear. He said, what? He said, I did that for you. I want you to do this for me. You put on my underwear. So he grabbed her underwear. He puts in one foot. He puts in the other. He pulls them up. He can't get him past his knees. He says, I can't get into your underwear. She says, and you never will unless you change your attitude. Well, thank you very much. You Penny Moore. Thank you so much.
Great job, Ben. Ben Curlin. Thank you, Ben. Terrific. Great job. Funny man. Very funny man. Always has been, always will be.
It's good, yeah.
I wanted to bring up a great friend of mine. He's a great all-around entertainer. You may remember him as lead singer in the rock and roll group Danny and the Juniors. He spends most of his time now co-headlining with Tony Orlando. If you're in Atlantic City on New Year's Eve, he'll be in Resorts International with Tony. Let's have a big Footlighters welcome for a great star, Mr. Johnny Patillo.
Are you kidding me, really? I gotta follow the Lemon Jellos. Big Ben, he seemed this big with the comedy. Give them a hand, would you? Good Lord. You got me closing? Oh, good, thank God. I want to be blue in the middle. How many Italians in here? We're all in the back, by the way. All right, listen. When I was with Danny and the Juniors, we traveled all over the world, thank God. What one record could do, what two records could do. But this song that I'm going to do for you right now, this explains rock and roll and doo-wop. Are you ready? Yeah. Give it, oh yeah! Amen! Hallelujah! Pass the basket around, make a few dollars. All right, right now I have Lynn, I got the band here. Look at Mark Friedman, I have to follow him. Lynn, on three, folks, say hit it, Lynn. 1, 2, 3. I'd like to thank the guy who wrote the song that made my baby fall in love with me. Oh. Who put the bomb in the bomb, the bomb, the bomb? Who put the ram in the ram, the ram? Who put the bomb in the bomb, she bop, she bop? Who put the dick in the dick, and I said, who put that man? Well, I got to shake his hand. funny right now, when Danny rapped, when he passed away, the Duprees called me up. And now I knew those guys because I'm from Jersey. How many people from Jersey? Good. So now you gotta picture this. They said, listen, my manager called and said, the lead singer of the Duprees just quit. So if you want the gig, by the time he was done saying that, I was over the house already, rehearsing with these guys. But I knew the songs. Now picture this. 5 Italian guys from New Jersey. What they failed to tell me was the first gig was at Madison Square Garden, which was the first time I took a Valium. And I did not, we wore green tuxedos, okay? I'm gonna show you how 5 Italian guys from New Jersey came on the stage in Madison Square Garden wearing green tuxedos. And we did this song. On 3, say, hit it, Lynn. 1. Someone new. Have you seen the way she looks now? Does she have the same when she hears my name? Does she say who's to blame? Each new tomorrow can only bring me sorrow. I love her so. Have you heard of their wedding day? Rumors come and go, still I'd like to know if it's true. Won't you tell me? Have you heard? Have you heard of their wedding day? Rumors come and go, still I'd like to know if it's true. Won't you tell me? Have Thank you. Grazie. Prego. Now, you know, the name of my show is, because I'm not with any more groups anymore. We're done with the groups. But my show is called Doo-Wop Days and Rat Pack Nights. Whoever saw Frank, Dean, and Sammy on stage together, besides Peter Lemongello? Remember those days? Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to bring it back to Vegas. Who's been to Vegas? Quiet little bunch. All right, so here we're going to have Frank, Dean, and Sammy. And then there's going to be a special guest coming from around Mark Friedman. Do you remember that thing? All right, you ready? Say, hit it, Lynn. Marvelous. Beautiful. Way to go, Donald. got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me. So deep in my heart, you're really a part of me. I've got you under my Dino, right that way. Oh baby, I'd go up to your hand. Oh, I let my love, baby, never gonna go so well. Why did I try to resist when did I know so doggone well? Baby, I got you. How much Sam did? Come on, Sam, thank you. I would sacrifice anything to come one night for the sake of having you near. Spite of that warning voice comes in the night, repeats in my ear. Don't you know you never can win? Use your mentality, wake up to reality. Sing it, Frank. And each time I do, all of you makes me stop. Before I begin, baby, I've got you under my skin. Dino, what? Under my skin. And about it. Go ahead, Sam. Dance a little. All right. Under my skin. All right, now, Sammy, do that part again. Then we'll have the special guest come right around here. Really, he's very special. Come right around here and you'll see. All right, ready, Sam? Get ready. Go, lady. Come on, Sam. I would sacrifice anything, come on, for the sake of having you near. Spite of that warning voice, come, Jerry Lewis.
Don't you know you never can win? I must use your mentality. Wake up to reality. Sing it, boy.
And each time I do, all of you makes me stop. Before I begin, baby, I've got you under my skin. Didino, under my skin. Sammy, under my skin. Jerry.
What? Okay.
Thank you very much. Now, you know, folks, in Las Vegas, you know, the Rat Pack was like the biggest thing in those days. And everybody wanted to join. Is that motorcycle still going? Go ahead. And everybody wanted to join. Who do you think, this is true, who do you think the first person to ask to join the Rat Pack was? Joey, he was in the Rat Pack. And all of a sudden there's a Helen Keller convention here right now. Who was the first? Anybody? Guess? I'll tell you. Willie Nelson. I don't think Willie had the wardrobe, but we all love Willie Nelson, don't we? So he asked. Naturally, he didn't get in. But after he asked, then everybody, all the big stars started to ask. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do what you call caricatures of the voice. You know what a caricature is? You're on a beach, a guy is going like this. He said, I want to do your picture. He was from Brooklyn. He's going like this. And he showed me the picture. My nose went from here to Long Island. I said, do I appear that way to you? I mean, this is what I look. He says, hey kid, listen to me. It's a caricature. All you gotta do is come close. Oh, so keep this in mind. When I do these voices, they're caricatures. Just gotta come close. All right, now the first voice I'm gonna do is Willie Nelson, because he was the first to ask. But I have to use my nose as a prop. As you can see, I got a lot to work with up here. All right? So the first guy, Willie Nelson. The name of the song, To All the Girls I Loved Before. I gotta make sure. All the girls I loved before. When they come along, gotta get this. All I got. Now I know what this is for. Julio. To all the girls I once had, and may I say I had the best. All having me to do. Oh, well, let her know. To all the girls. Tony Bennett, remember Tony, right? You know that was flowing every time I try to stay. You know it's blowing. Elvis Presley and Bob Dylan. All girls are sharing my life. Now that somebody else's wife. Sing it, Bob. Lady, come along. Lady, get along. Oh, girl, hey, oh. Jerry Bell, you remember Jerry? I'm in the right pack too. No, you're not. Get out of here. Ed Sullivan and Rob. All the girls I loved before. It's my show, not your show. Ladies and gentlemen, Rodney Dangerfield. All the girls I loved before. Hey, who's kidding who, okay? I never came back from all. You know why? I'll tell you why. I get no respect at all, I'll tell you. Johnny Mathis and Barry White. For the girl I love you. Oh, bullshit. Travel out my door. Who you bullshit? Let me hear it along. We dedicate this song to all the girls. Barry White. Love. Oh, baby. This song, 1964, the Beatles came out. I think we all remember that. That's when all our careers ended and doo-wop. I never see so many contracts get ripped in my life. They're going, hey, you guys, sue us. They're here. And the #1 song, now they used to call it oldies but goodies then. It was like oldies but goodies. Yeah, okay. Then they changed it to doo-wop. Well, I remember on the street corner, because that's where we all started. on a street corner. My grandmother, my grandfather, right from Italy. Right from Italy. They used to watch Perry Como every week. Every week. We'd be on a street corner. Perry'd be singing like, Blue moon, you saw me standing alone without a dream in my heart. Remember? We were doing the same song on the street corner. Like a remember that song? Well, my grandfather heard that. He came out on the stoop. Remember the stoop? He came out on the stoop and he goes, "Hey, Joan, grandfather, over here. What are you, we trying to watch a better go on, real sin. Not like you go, what do you call all this?" I say, "Pop, it's doo-wop." Now you gotta remember, my grandfather come right from Italy. He didn't like that last word. Think about it. He hated it. He said, what do you call it this? I said, doo-wop. Say it one more time, I give you another rot on top of your head. What is doo-wop, Pop? Ping! Give me a shot. I went, oh, no, me. Now, doo-wop is popular. But what'd you say? You see Peter Lemongello Jr.? He's going to bring it back. Bigger than it ever was. Oh, really? When you see somebody that young, like this, I'm retired watching them. How does a body actually move like that? Right now I feel like Gumby. But like doo-wop here. Here we stroll along together, holding hands, walking all alone. So in love are we two that we don't know what to do. So in love, so much in love, so in love, so much in love. How many people remember that song? Listen to this. Each night I ask the stars up above, what is it? Why must I be a teenager? I'm sorry. How about this one? One more, then we're going to do the last song. Like a hitman for Santa Claus. Alright, now this song, they named 1964, they named it the #1 oldie but goodie. 2021, is it right now? 2021, they named this doo-wop. #1 song ever. #1 oldie doo-wop song ever. And I'm going to show you within the song why. You ready? Yes. I hope you enjoyed my company as much as I've enjoyed yours. In the still of the night. Go like this. Show it up. Boom, boom, boom. Ow, wow. Show it up. Boom, boom, boom. Show it up.
So before I hold me again with all of your mind in the shade of a night. In the still of the night. Thank you, everybody. You've been terrific. Thank you.
Patillo, ladies and gentlemen, how about that? Johnny Patillo. Johnny Patillo, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, John. So, have you had a good time today? Johnny mentioned, I don't know if you've heard this story before, Johnny mentioned Frank Sinatra. And I'll tell you a true story. I once had the privilege of sharing the stage with Frank Sinatra. New York Friars Club walled up the story. They were honoring Sir Roger Moore. And on the dais was Cary Grant, Dean Martin, Milton Berle. And I sang the national anthem, the British national anthem, God Save the Queen. And Angie Dickinson, remember Angie Dickinson? She invited me to a little after-show party that was in Mrs. Sinatra's suite. And Frank Sinatra asked me to have a drink with him. And sure, and I'm standing there. I said, I can't call him Frank, I gotta say Mrs. Sinatra. I said, can I ask you a question? He said, go ahead. How does it feel when people say you're the greatest singer that ever lived? And how does it feel to be idolized by millions of people all over the world? And how does it feel that wherever you go in the world, you're the center of attention? You walk out on stage, you get an automatic standing ovation, women are throwing flowers at you. How does all that feel, Mrs. Sinatra? And Frank Sinatra said to me, you'll never know. Before we wrap it up, I want to thank you for everything, Jerry, that you've done for all of us. And you asked me, as you always do, to sing your favorite song. So I will. And when I sing it, I think of the singers that were part of my life. Tony Martin, Jerry Vale, Don Cornell, Billy Daniels, Johnny Desmond. And you booked all these guys. He's the man that created show business in South Florida. We must never forget that. Okay. This is for you, Jerry. In my heyday, young girls wrote to me. Everybody seemed to have time to devote to me. Everyone I saw all swore they knew me. Once upon a song. Main attraction, you couldn't buy a seat. The celebrities would die to meet. I've had every accolade bestowed on me. And so you say, if I never sing another song, it should bother me. I've had my share of fame. You know my name. If I never sing another song or take another vow, I would get by, but I'm not sure how. Always posing, but you love it all. Though you have to learn to act like you're above it all. Everywhere I went, the world applauded. once upon a star. Framed citations hung on every wall. Got a scrapbook full of quotes, I can't recall it all. There were times I thought the world belonged to me, and so you say, I never sing another song, it shouldn't bother me. I've had my share of fame, you know my name. If I ever sing another song, or take another road, I would get by, but I'm not sure. I'm not Or what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows you took the blows, you did it Jerry's way, you did it Jerry's way. Jerry Grant, ladies and gentlemen. Jerry Grant. Mike, where's the plaque? First, before the speech. And you can see. You can see. This is the, ladies and gentlemen, the Footlighters salute Jerry Grant for a lifetime of great entertainment, December 19th, 2021. Errol Dante, President. Mark Friedman, Chairman of the Board. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor, Mr. Jerry Grant.
Thank you, Errol. Well, I've booked 1,000 shows and acts. This is one of the hard to top. Okay, I have to share this tribute with all of you entertainers, musicians, and friends. I've probably booked many of you in various venues over the past 60 years. And you put smiles on so many faces. It has been my pleasure and an honor to have played a part in your career. I thank you for your talent and for your friendships. I want to thank Errol and Mark and Ronnie and all the Footlighters for this wonderful tribute today. It has truly been the highlight of my life. Happy holidays and Happy New Year. By the way, whoever put that poster together, I'm taking it with me. I'm going to take it to CVS, Publix, Panera, Puerto Rico, wherever I go. I'm taking that poster.
Jerry Grant, before you go, the next event will be January 23rd. We have the Leo and Marion Goldner Humanitarian of the Year Award, the first ever. We want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. We'll see you January 23rd. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and God bless you all. Thank you.